Hello YouTube, welcome to Sunday in the shop. It's actually Saturday, it's about 38 degrees out, really cloudy and wet. It's going to try to rain or snow. This is the toolless tensioner deal on here. This is my Craftsman 16 inch. I'll look it up, put in the description when I bought this thing. I hit a deck screw and some scrap lumber and really chewed up the chain, so we're going to put a new one on it. We have a spare chain. We've never replaced it before. All we can see is there's a screw here. We're going to go ahead and take that out, and we'll be back and show you what it looks like in there. Okay, first time we did this, I do not know where the manual is. We took this screw out and then nothing happened, so we just kept turning on this knob, turn on the outside, inside, and we got this unscrewed. So we just kept turning the knob. See, there's threads in there. And this is your toolless thing where it kind of has a ratchet deal or whatever. So we're off to see what it takes to take this part off. So we know this don't come out of there. We'll clean that off, take a picture of with it clean, and then we'll explain to you how this comes off to get the chain off, or if it has to come off. If I can take the chain off, I'm not taking it apart. So we'll see. Stay tuned. Okay, see this gasket right here? It's a little deformed, it'll work. That's your oiler. There's an oil hole in here, if I can pull it out of the way. There you go, see it? And then you got an oil hole in your bar right here, okay? And make sure your sprocket turns down here on the end. Let me change hands. Make sure your sprocket turns. That little sprocket, you can just grab with your finger there. Get a little closer. There. Make sure that sprocket turns. Okay, how this works is just like a scroll. Kind of like a see how that moves? Kind of like on a lathe, you got a 3-jaw chuck. Inside there's a scroll that pulls the teeth together. So that's how I can describe it to myself. But so this just slides off. Get the camera up there. That just slides off of there. So this might be a better video than somebody reading the instruction book. And make sure you put your chain on the right way. Lay it down, you know which way the teeth go. Make sure you put your chain on, you put it on the right way. Don't put your chain on backwards. I don't want to admit if I've done it. I probably have. Building dog teeth. Said this thing's better than those really cheapy electric ones. Not to say any company names, but I paid a little more for this because it's a little bit heftier saw. You can see how big it is. About as big as a small gas chainsaw. So that's about it. These teeth go in this cover, and as you turn this cover, it turns those teeth, and then you have a lock. You got two. I'll take a picture of this. You just turn one, adjust it, and lock the other one. So I'll have a picture of that. So that's about it. We'll put this back together, and we'll get it fired up once, get out the tripod, and we'll see how it cuts with a new chain on it. Okay, this was kind of tricky. See, I use this to hold this up, and I got it laying on its side. It was kind of tricky getting around here. I've got it adjusted all the way back so the bar goes. It's kind of tricky because you got to get it just ready to go over the hole, and you got to make sure you're getting it down there. So you got to fuss with it a little bit. I didn't cuss too bad, but that really helped. I propped it up on something here. Now, I did take a picture of the package now, but that's the chain that came in the box with it. So if you had to buy one in the store, all I can tell you is get an Oregon chipper chain that came with a 16-inch bar. So I hope it's not no oddball chain you'll never be able to find it, and you have to go through Sears. One of these days there might be closed or don't carry this model anymore. So we're gonna put this cover back on. Like I said, it just screws on, and these teeth, one of the inner knob or whatever knob says instructions, is the one that makes the bar go in and out. I've not had this chain fall off. There's a break-in on a chain where you have to do it. You don't want it too tight or too loose. So you're on your own doing that because it's kind of a finessing thing that I do. I never had the chain fly off. I read some reviews on this. People said the chain fell off. Well, I'm used to a chainsaw, so I know about how tight to make it. And it's going to stretch after it gets warm. So too much yakking, not enough work. Let's get this together. Okay, we made sure it's oiling. You can tell by the mess. That's about how I do my chain, see? you can't quite put a dime under there, you know where the spot is, that, not this gap, but that tooth. You can almost pull it out of there, your tooth that rides in there. If you can fit a dime in there, you're too loose. That's how I go by it. And I've already run it now about 5 minutes, got the chain a little warm, so we're just using motor oil. It's gonna splatter more than bar oil, but we just don't have no bar oil, so we're using 1030 weight oil. So I'd recommend it, but don't whine if you ruin your saw or something, because that's what I'm going to use. Because I grab this when it's cold out too, so and I don't use it all day long, so I don't see the need to buy bar oil. But I've always got some motor oil sitting around. So let's get up the tripod and we'll see how good it cuts. Okay, if I don't get in the way, let's see what happens. Don't know if that went off camera, but you get an idea. That's just some cheap old elm wood. So new chain, ready to go. Okay, let's find one more thing to put on the video for today. Okay, we thought a while. We couldn't really think of anything else to do here. Boy, it's warm in here. Boy, geez, I feel kind of guilty. 85 degrees over there, and the thermometer over here is like 74 degrees by the desk. I made another sock tote bag for my little radio, so I can keep it inside and keep it warm. So you can hang it up somewhere. But I have a video on these. I cut it just in the right spot where the sock changed color. This is one of them winter ones. It's like 50% wool. And this is those shoestrings. They're called like rawhide or whatever the color is. And I left the inside in it. You know, your white, like in paracord has the white. I left it in there, but when I got down here to fluff this up, I pulled these apart and cut that part out, so there's no white in there. And then unbraided these, then sewed it together there. But I do have a video on these. Most of my subs have been subbed a while have seen this, so if you really want to see it, I'll find your description and reply to your comment with a description someday. Sometimes I take a day or so to have to go hunt it down, but there you go. I think we're gonna call it good for today. I don't know what I'm gonna do today. I may just go in and relax the rest of the day. Who knows what I'll do. I may find some small thing to do out here, but thanks for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week.